Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. Trial users, if you're new here this week, we welcome you. We start always looking at daily charts before starting anything. And again, we've off first half of that NASDAQ short this morning, and stops to go to break even. If you came into the room, we were short from 3350s. Let's look at the S&P here first. Yesterday's drop. We were still looking for this to get tested right here. I think we'll get it today, as a matter of fact. I think we get one more leg down here. I don't see any signs of anything changing overseas that's going to cause us to bounce back here. And if you look at where this high volume node is, we'd almost treat this as a pseudo, almost a B formation here for this market here. So you've got this high volume node for the month, and we've got a technical gap to take care of down at this level also, right here. And there's actually two high volume nodes. There's also a low volume divot at 0850s. So there's, again, these would be short-term targets today to the downside. Anything below that would put us to the top of these 1296s, like we said yesterday. I don't see any reason why we can't make it even to that far. And we still have a gap even down here at 1282.75s. All right, so looking to still be short. 21s was kind of my upside last night. I thought we might be able to see, and we got to 2050s, and now we're trading back down towards the lows here, getting close to yesterday's settlement price around 14. So we'll be looking for continuation in this market. So here's the NASDAQ. All right, here's the NASDAQ. We're right up at the top of this last balance area here. If we lose these pivot lows from yesterday's 16s, it's got some room to drop. And again, the technical gap would be back down to 2283 area. That'd be a substantial pullback, no doubt. But you remember, you have this prior area from the month of January. We've talked about this several times. This is a very nice balance area here. You could extend that over to the right-hand side here. So this was all value back in January. So the unfair highs were 32s. And the lows were down at 2250 area. So that's where the value area was for the month of January. So we're coming back into it. We're actually below this month's point of control now, which is at 2355, a big number overhead. It's going to be a tough bird to get through. Obviously, if for some reason we turned around and we started to rally, that would be there'd be two areas here, 46s and 55s is where I would be looking at. First time into this node, we'd look to short it. All right, look to short it down back and maybe put a higher low in. So the NASDAQ still looking for continuation. We take out yesterday's lows. There's not much in the way of holding us up here. Looking probably to gap fill. We've got a whole number bounce probably off to 23s. They'll try to come in and bounce it off of that. But other than that, well, the monthly point of control for January was 71, so gap fill is 83. So that would be my bet, somewhere down in here. If we get rolling underneath yesterday's lows, see you down there. All right, that'd be again a nice swift pullback for sure. A nice correction too, back into January's value area. Here's the bonds. Yesterday we had a nice long trade in that, got all the way to those 21s. That's that POC from these two prior value areas off to the left here from December, January. If we were to extend that over, you can see that we're moving right back into that value. It's almost the opposite of what we saw on the NASDAQ there a few minutes ago. So we tried to go lower here. We're pulling ourselves back up into the value area. You've got your unfair high territory way up at 22 still. But again, like I said, this would be the high volume area for this 2-month profile. If we composited that, it's right in that 21 area, and that's what we touched yesterday, and we stopped, and we'll see what happens today. Pullbacks in this still back to 19s would still be viable. You've got a high volume at 1930, so maybe any retest even back down to the 20s, 120 region, I would still look to be a buyer. That's on the bonds, but this looks like it wants to go higher. As the equity market gets hit here, we got flight to safety in the bonds. The oil market, again, that probe to go lower failed at the well, it used to be on the other contract was that 84, 85 number. Now it's 89 front month. We broke through the top side yesterday, pulled back inside of the balance area. And again, some news out of Yemen and stuff where they're going to start blowing up oil plants. So, I mean, if that's the case, what is that going to do to our oil price? I would be watching right now for pullbacks against this volume node right here for the month, 94, 95 area. 95s, that's going to be a big area. Intraday here, 94. 95. It came back down to 95.50s, and it was inside of the value area. You can see we actually looked at that a little bit earlier this morning. And again, here's another one, completed the cycle from 810s back to 96.19. So 95.60s to 96.10s, 20s. It made that cycle back across the value area. So, you know, they are working at that market, and we'll have to just see what that's going to bring today. So have a great day trading, everyone, and we'll see you in the room.